Hello, welcome to this video, which is a transitory reading, 4 cards for this sort of pre-spring equinox, first quarter of the year, I guess. Kind of reflection on where we've been so far, coming through 2025, and maybe what is to come, and how we can look forward to it. And this will be sort of an extension of the weekly readings that I do every Friday. So if you are new and just finding this reading now, welcome and thank you for clicking and coming here to view my video and reading. This is a part, like I said, of these readings that I do every single Friday on my Telegram, but also I mirror them over onto YouTube and to BitChute. So you could find those every Friday over there if you're interested in divination, tarot cards. I personally like to refer to it as spiritual divination, just because it gives a blatant description of deeper meaning to it. That's my own personal vibe and my preference. So if you're looking for that type of reading, that's what I give. Usually 1 card every Friday, which is not typical tarot. It's actually an angel oracle deck that I was gifted, that I was blessed with by a wonderful earth angel in my own life. 2 years ago, maybe. I think I've been doing those readings for 2 years. I'll have to look back and see how long it's been now. But I do a monthly theme that goes with a tarot card every first of the month. And so we have sort of a traditional tarot theme that we work with over the month, and the angel oracle deck sort of speaks to work to be done or whatever for the weeks to come, for that week. So if that kind of stuff interests you, yeah, you can find me doing that every week. This, by extension, is under the umbrella theme of what we are working with here for March already, which is the Ace of Cups. And so I will sort of be asking the deck here to speak about how we're moving through the month of March's lessons at hand, and perhaps how we will move into April. But also this threshold signifies sort of, like I said, it's a little early for spring equinox is like next week, right? Oh wait, no, oh my gosh, it's the 17th already. Wow, I guess this is pretty good. It's 3 days before. Cool. And 3 is such a fun number. Or, well, I guess the 21st. It depends on where you are in the world as to what the equinox, or when the equinox exactly is, I guess. But hey, we're pretty close to it, right? So that's fitting. That's a little intuitive thing on my behalf, I guess. Shocked my 3D self. Anyway, thanks for joining. And if you're not new, welcome. And yeah, let's probably get down to the reading, right? Because sometimes doing a 4-card reading in itself, I can talk for quite a while just about the cards. And so let's just take a quick moment. I'm not going to do an entire, 15 minute long grounding. I've already sort of taken a moment to myself to commit to being a good audience and centering my energies this morning with my own regular sort of spiritual practices and stuff. So I'm already in my zone and ready to go. I hope you are too. And just in case you're not, or whatever the case might be, let's all come to a place of centered audience together to be good listeners and to receive the messages from the cards. So yeah, I'm going to close my eyes and just take a few centered breaths. You're welcome to as well. Maybe just get comfortable in your seat. Let go of all the to-dos, the the tasks you've been at throughout your day. Oh, let your mouth calm down. Let your thoughts calm down. Breathe into the now as we practice that flash of surrender and settle down. Okay, that feels a little better and more centered, don't you think? Just a simple moment, really, to practice like that flash of surrender, a letting go, any sort of visualization that works for you. You can switch them up and try different ones, but it's a wonderful anchoring practice. So thanks for joining, and I'm going to now take out my deck, and we will take a moment to thank the deck and welcome them to our gathering and our presence. We thank you for your ever presence, for your energy 24/7. We are all one and together. However, there are layers and levels to this place and spaces that we are here co-creating within. And so we thank you, beautiful cards, spirit, higher self, ancestors, ascended masters, God source, fairies, elementals, Mother Earth, all of those sacred beings of higher frequencies, of deeper connectivity and love, of honesty, of ownership, of receptivity. We thank you for your audience, and we ask you for advice, support, for guidance through these cards here under our wonderful theme of the Ace of Cups. We look forward, through, back, and yes, we look at the now. We are in the now. We wish to remain present as we ask for reflective and honest advice on this transitory time, the threshold of newness that spring inspires, the quarter of the year that we're moving through here in 2025, all of the shifts and changes. We ask collectively and individually if you'd like to send messages through, and we thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Now take a moment to shuffle up my deck, which is bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. Take it down. I'm happy to feel the excited spring energies as well. It's so clearing and wonderful and refreshing. I'm going to do what I haven't done in a while, which is a fan and choose quickly for cards. I wish I still had my... no, I won't go there. Yes, that's it. Let's see what to do. Okay. Oh, we have a drifter on the top. Dare I mention it? Maybe I'll work to show it here. I guess we'll have to, right? See what, add a fifth to it. Now I'm just going to set up my spread here. We'll have our fifth. The fifth is, a slider sideways, so I guess I'm going to leave it sideways, much as like the second card. We'll have it a reflection, and we'll see the dualistic filtration, sort of the refracting, right, of light and shadow that the card plays over the whole reading. And so I guess again, I'll just show quickly. I wish, this is what I almost mentioned, that I had my second camera and the whole setup that I used to have at my other place, but it just is doesn't work here. And the other camera, in fact, I mean the whatchamacallit, the thing that held it, the arm on it broke, and so, you know, I have to get a new one at some point. But anyways, not to just, I'm disrupting the reading. Forgive me. Okay. Just for anyone who's new, or for those who aren't new, who haven't seen a transitory reading from me, or don't remember anyways, like maybe you caught one before, I only do them a few times in the year even, so I'd like to just go through the placement quickly, and then I'll talk more deeply about it as we go through the cards. But like I mentioned, the fifth card already is sort of our wild card. It's an overhanging, we'll see. Card number 1 is going to be our current moment, what the cards feel called to speak on, and what they'd like to reflect about and create the reading around. And card number 2 is, and of course, well, card number 1, we've already sort of asked them because it's a transitory reading, so, you know, we will be sort of speaking about the months before, or March beforehand, where we're at now, and sort of the future is to come in the near future into April, but also into spring in general, this sort of thematic concept. But of course, the card itself sets the tone of the message that the cards are bringing forth. So I really like to let that lead the reading and to read sequentially the rest of the cards after, under that umbrella. Sorry. Card number 2, which is the horizontal card that's closest to me, that I consider to be obstacles or hurdles, things, catalytic type of events or concepts that the cards would like to either congratulate you and give you a pat on the back for how you overcame them, and perhaps it was gracious and smooth, or perhaps they are pointing through could have been done better. It's a self-reminder for yourself to reflect on what could have been done better, or the mistakes that were made, and to grow around them and through them. It really depends on the card and how it sits. And the third card, which is to the left of me, is going to be speaking about that sort of more past, things that have come through the past or in the past. And again, it's a dualistic sort of understanding, whether that means to you things from the past that need to cut and be left, or things they're proud of you for leaving behind in the past, and they'd like to mention that as that kind of way, tip it that way, or things that need to be brought in, memories and wisdom that you've gained around certain things that need to be or are prevalent to the now, or you need to be reminded of in the now, perhaps even. And then the fourth card, of course, is plays a similar many different angles of observation through, and however it projects out towards the future and gives us a space of either things to promote and cultivate that would need to become part of the future later, in a guidance point, or perhaps it can be obstacles to be warned of, so to speak, but just to be aware of, really, and to present yourself with dynamic scenarios as to how you would tackle those obstacles as if they do come to fruition. So those are the generalistics, and now I'm going to go over the cards. I think maybe we'll do this. I'll flip them like this, and then we'll talk about them. Can we see number 5? No. I'll have to flip. Let me move my crystals a little aside here, guys, and I'll put 5 here. Guys can lead. We'll put you at the front. How about that? Okay. Here we go. Oops. Getting ahead of myself. Oh, wow. Okay. I love it. I love this reading. First card, we have the 3 of Rods. Here, actually, let's do this. Then I know that the lighting will be okay. The 3 of Rods. Wow. Let's just go through them quickly, and then we'll talk about them more. This second card, this is so good. The Page of Cups. And, you know, underneath um, Saints and Angels, our theme this month being the Ace of Cups, and last month being the Five of Cups reversed. I don't want to feel like I have to hunch down, sorry. You know, to have them signify, to confirm, and to speak through the Page of Cups right now as the workers, the obstacles, the good things and the bad things through this reading is just perfection. Third card, for the past to bring through, and it's reversed. I read reversals. 8 of Rods. We'll talk about that. I'll talk about reversals and that when we get there, since it's the only technical reversal we have anyway. And the future is the Magician, number 1. And new starts, and just wow about, first of all, transmutative alchemy to new starts. Just such a theme, for prevalent, strong. Speaking of strong, card number 5, our overhanger of strength. Okay, and card 8, the number 8, and I just love. I know there's some tarot does swaps justice and strength, which are 8 and 11, and the cards are different. The Aquarian deck here has strength as card 8. I love the reflection of strength as card 8 because it's just that, it's the ebb and flow. It's the reminder of the long road, of the never ending of it all, and just, well, you know, how to turn it back around on itself again, and to keep moving through, you know, to just keep swimming. Wow, what a positive, like I said, such a great energy. There was a joyous, bubbly energy to begin with. The decks are really excited to speak. The cards. So I'm really feeling this reading so much. I'm gonna have a sip of water, and then we'll go through the cards just a bit. So first of all, the 3 of Rods. Look at, I love the artwork of this deck, and just the springiness of the blossoming that they've turned the rods into, the beautiful garden-like spring energy that the rods are really about. You know, they have this passion within them that is, you know, what do you set on fire in the world? What blazes your torch, and how do you cast that light out, that magic out into the world, right? And when we have the 3 aspect, you know, we have the childlike energy, we have creative passion, we have new dynamic input and output that are asking us to malleably, you know, change it up, morph, and create whatever we're doing. The 3 is in succession, and it is before it 1 and 2. So there is a solid form or a stable working at hand already. There is the 1, you know, there's what we're working on. And in fact, we've already been through 2, which is the opposing dynamic of setting boundaries around the 1, what it is not, what it is, all the shades that come between it, what are parallels, what are the, you know, the similarities, and what are the opposites, right? And so then comes the 3, after you've really had that space to create a boundary of isness, so to speak, around the 1. The 3, you know, really is that new things that you bump into and that are created between, actually, in fact, sort of the light and shadow, the male and female, the day and night, the is and is not. Those 2, in fact, harmoniously create the Vesica Pisces, the 3rd shading, the in-between space that is a combination and mixture of the two, but it's of its creation, but it's not of its control. It's its own free birthing, and it's supposed to be its own valid conception and point of life. And 3 should really be let to run free, like you would let a toddler, young child run free and designate the day, so to speak. I mean, you don't let them control the day, you know, and you set firm boundaries and you teach safety and all of that, but you let them designate the course. You let them designate the interests and set the flow and the tone. And also you let their emotions and their energy and their ups and downs of their schedule and their growth pattern, their naps and their snack times and their wants and needs as a small child to also play a role and designate the things and activities to be done and all that. So they do set the tone and they set the whole day, but from a smart way, right? and with our inner child, with our creative sense, with what the 3 of Rods really asks us to own and control at the same time, is that whole metaphor in one. We are that. We are the parent and the child all in one, wrapped up in this miracle person, this persona, mind, body, spirit complex, you know, a creator consciousness being. And we each do really have within us a purpose, calling, can be manyness wrapped up, but there's designation there that's solely you, and that is your own tone and flavor, your own imprint. And the 3 of Rods really is a vibrant reflection of that. And also, like, I love how, you know, he has his eyes set out to the horizon, and you can almost even see like the depiction of a long road ahead, the mountainous, you know, way to go ahead. And yeah, what a great tone to set for speaking about where we're at now, and to be stepping into your creative times. It's such a great, wonderful time of the year. And, you know, even if you're in the other hemisphere, and the other side of the world, and it isn't spring blossoms like it is coming into here for me in the northern hemisphere, when you're coming into more of the hibernation modes, the settling down time that comes with sort of the honing inwards that comes with the reverse, it's also a wonderful time to cultivate creativity in a different set and setting, but in different concepts, but the same creative skill set is very valuable, and creates its own unique metaphor. The next card, 2, the Page of Rods here. To like I already sort of brought in, to have this card in our moment, it really is one of those external validation points, sort of sprinkles on top of the reading. I always see it as that for them to tell us directly, you know, we heard what you're talking about. We are here. We do speak, and we can speak very firmly and directly on the nose, you know, but we choose not to give or be so direct and controlling in readings and with divination in general, because it's meant to be tailor fit to the individual. It's meant to mean many, many things, and to each their own, sort of. We should be, you know, really leave space for that. And again, so about leaving space, again, this card I like to leave horizontal so that we can think of the light and the shadow aspects of the Page of Cups. And a lot of what comes with the Page of Cups, for me, I love to make a joke. I love this version of my card here with sort of the fish popping out of the cup looking at him like something totally new, unexpected. It takes dynamic imagination. It brings in unexpected surprises that are almost unheard of, or need magic and belief, need a prior graduation from sort of the numbers through up to the face card values, right, are like school, elementary school, middle school, a gathering of this sort of sequential elementary knowledge. But when we come to the face value cards, Page being the first of it, being the freshman sort of to that new world, it's like a surprise, it's like a joke. It's also a wink to knowing that magic does exist. It does take this sort of stepping up out of the sort of scientific, very tangible, materialistic play out of the world in front of us, the visual world in front of us, into the higher world of imagination, into synchronistic happenings, co-creative happenings with the universe around us. The page is like new roads and new ventures, but it comes with an availability of resources. It comes with this sort of higher quality of designation. And so I feel having this as in where we are in the reading, right, is like telling us or asking us to look at how are we really bringing in new energy to the Ace of Cups this month? Are we, have you been stepping into it well? Are you really doing a great job with the Page of Cups? Creative new endeavors, seeing things in new ways and accepting and moving with them? Or are you sort of retreating? Are you cynical? Are you questioning things, more critiquing? Are you blocking those kind of things and tagging weight and holding into older, lower frequencies and belief patterns and habits, and sort of into that reversed Five of Cups, crying over spilt milk energies that are the past, energies that we're working through? And we've really been shown and through March to bring new, turn the cup, that grab one cup, Ace, take into new, upright it and get going on these new things. Instead of, crying over spilt milk with the sort of things that happened beforehand, February-ish. So depending on how you move through those things, or if you weren't even a part of those readings, you can sort of just think back to how you've been moving through energy and coming into the new phase of the shifts and changes, and sort of remind yourself to bring in that unexpected. Again, it's sort of a childlike, because they are like the freshmen of the face value cards, and they're the ones that have such a vibrant newcomer energy. They say like beginner's luck, that kind of thing that comes in with fresh take on things, because you have fresh eyes. You see things that sometimes others have become background to. And also new things present themselves characteristically, circumstantially to the page, because they're the newcomer. That's what they're meant. The energy that they call to them is whatever's of this new realm, this next step up into the high school era of sort of what I'm giving of the metaphor with the cards. The new tone of that and your purpose in it will be presenting, different things will be presenting to you, because they're significant to you and they're unique to you and your diverse purpose within the whole. So how you meet those fish that pop up out of your cup be mindful of that. How do you want to meet those new experiences? Do you want to scoff at magic? Or are you going to be accepting of it? Are you going to be surprised by it? Can you be at least curious and mildly intrigued? Or are you, it doesn't exist, this doesn't fit my model of this must be a whatever, X, Y, and Z, or immediately take it into, oh, this must be a demon or a devil or an archonic Satan structure, this isn't correct, or can we hold a more balanced view? We don't have to jump full throttle into magic exists and let me have a cult worship over this god fish now, Oh wow. Those are those characteristic stuffed Freudian slips of my own creation and that I love to do. So there's one for you, for all of us, right? There's one for the Matrix. Now, into the third card, into sort of what we were just speaking about what we're bringing from the past and how we have been meeting those things in the past, the cup energies. notice we have the rods tying us into the now, tying us into the same energy of our present moment and what the cards really want us to focus on, which is that rod's energy, the power within us, that thing that sparks you and your magic, that you get to cast and bestow out in the world, make your way within the world, make impact and influence within the world. And of course we have the 8 tying into the 8 of strength in our overall message here. And again, like I talked about before, the figure 8, the lemniscatic flow, that Mobius of ever eternal motion, exchange available, that just is immediate visualization for the number 8, but it is such a it's a symbol for a reason, and those tones and qualities come into play with the cards here. With the 8 and the Aquarian, I really like this sort of neutral play of just having the rods there, and also it's, to me, well, I don't want to, actually, we're already at 30 minutes, I'm just going to, I don't want to talk about basic cardology and card illustration signifying symbology, because I could go on forever. It's already half an hour. It's not too relevant to the reading. And then also, yeah, right, we have other things, so many other things to still talk about. And I do want to talk a bit about reversals too. So I was like, well, I'm going to talk for a minute about reversals instead. I do read reversals. I don't know. Some people don't. We have different versions of what gets read as reversals. I typically don't really stick to the classic version written down about what would be sort of the reversed version of each card. What I like to, I do honor shadow and light aspects of the cards, and I think that when we see reversals, it lets us know that there's more fertile active potentials at the moment for the more shadowy negative aspects of the card to play through. Now we have this card in a past position, so we're not even talking about potentialities. Really, it's already sort of solidified as to what these stand for you, whether it's more of a light or a shadow aspect. But because it is a reverse card in the past as well, I think there's sort of a double stamp, double negative effect on that they really want us to bring through harder lessons, wisdom, turn it into sort of logs to burn on the fire within us, right? Kindling. That's the thing I was thinking of. Kindling. And then again, see back to this about the aspects of it looking almost like sticks and kindling and the things that we burn up, causing fires within us, and what do they birth out? Are they birthing out blossoms, or are we scorching land? So thinking again about the retribution, the karmatic tones and qualities of all the things that we've been through, and really learning to accept those, even when they're more of seeming, sorry, my camera's getting really darkened. It's driving me crazy. Hopefully that's not showing. I think it's going to stop working pretty soon, but we'll see. It's doing that pink thing. I hope that, maybe it's not doing it on the video. Sorry, distractions. But thinking again and looking and reflecting about the karmatic sort of undertones, the repercussions, and the consequences, positive and negative, that are coming through into the now moment from those ways that we've responded and acted through the sort of 5 cups and then into the Ace of Cups themes that we've been into in the last week, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So thinking about that, I'm hearing so many great things for myself to ruminate on and to acknowledge and to sort of tuck away for later and for future working and for more in the present moment as well. Excuse me. of tucking away in future moments. Let's move into 4, to card number 4 with the Magician. And to just say, you know, I love the card. It's so beautiful. It has the figure 8, this infinite theme of connectivity, of oneness, of sameness, but also I think the oneness and sameness, it's sometimes can be so monotonous and create almost a homogeny sort of aspect to it, to where it's, you know, bland, and it's not at all, because it's ever changing and moving. It's the overall presentation, that average medial balance, that is the oneness. But there's the ebb and the flow, the give and the take, light and shadow, that is the motion that's always taking place, you know, that creates the circumference of the whole circle. That's the visual, right? And the Magician, the first card of the major arcana, well, I mean, we have the Fool, but that's sort of the portal card, you know, card to step out and to do actionary things with purpose and designation, to create purpose by designation and observation, is the Magician's role, right? It steps out of the cyclic sort of portaled zero space of the Fool. Anything can happen. Everything can happen, jumping around from one thing to anything. It puts a foot out. It steps out and says, this is what we're doing. And I know what I'm doing. And so, you know, what a card to say that this is what we're stepping into, too, for the rest of the month, for the month to come. The energies, springtime energies, you know, back to my own personal metaphors, you know, but also hearkening down, and to know that after through fall and to hearken down into winter is a Magician's time for you. It's an inner workings time. It's a cultivation of inner alchemy, and to be a magician for yourself, you know, to magically evolve yourself in these times to come, versus sort of the opposite role, which is magically watching the organic nature revitalize itself, rebirth itself, and to be the magician and a part of that, and sort of the more hermetic steward, outwardly focused external role that humanity also gets to play a significant part in the natural world, and to be a gardener, to be a magician, to help in that kind of way, or also, you know, if it can be shifting dynamics in relationships, and being more active out there in your community, because like the weather's better. Maybe you're not like such a gardener outsider person, even like it's not that type of future transmutation events and examples and scenarios for you. You know, it could be more of the internal same thing, but in a cultivation of new blossoms of springtime, and wanting to put forth the things that you've already been working on, right? And that's wonderful for us for this time, which is what I feel I'm happening in my time, my world, my present moment, and then I feel the Magician will bring forth in me. So excited to see the weeks to come here, and to know, like, really stepping into the 3 of Rods. It's such a fun place to be at. It's like spacious. It allows change. It allows mistakes in working. It also knows that there's great reason to the things that you're making right now. Yeah, you feel great passion about the purposes and things that you want to cultivate and do, and services that to be had, because then they are going to come to fruition and manifestation. So the little things that you're putting forth now, they are going to really be great doings in the future to come, in the near future to come. And also we have around us the 5th card. I'll get into it here at 40-minute marker, of strength. You know, we have to cultivate the strength to keep going and to persevere through, and to really own who we are and be transparent, to be that steady, you know, I will say it masculine. It's a masculine energy. We have a great figure here of a strong man, a warrior, a type of defender, and justice in itself, right? It takes qualities, this masculine qualities, to be strong. We all have dynamic, prismatic, masculine and feminine within us, and we need to own them and balance them, and we need to encourage them, and also enliven them within us, and to not be ashamed of them, or to pretend they're not there or anything. but also keep them in check and own them, because we don't want to cultivate the inappropriate shadow aspects of forceful, negative, infringing versions of strength, right? We don't need to prove and push strength onto others in physical ways. Strength has many different applications, many different presentations. It's strength is like, I'm thinking of a poem now. I'm going to be going off. So many poems lately have been coming through. But strength, it morphs into our beings. It seeps down in like cracks between the pavement. You cannot see it. It just gets in there. It feeds the underground resources, the groundwater, the aquifers in us. And that strength of resource, of being well fed, well watered, secure in your nutrients and in your, in your being, that permeates outwards with this radiance that it can't be denied. It can't be, it's just known, it's unspeakable, and it resonates out in a language of the spirit realm, of that's much different, but we all get it. We all speak it. There's no denying that we don't. So many of us choke it out and pretend that we don't. Matrix overlay, of course, it's the first thing to be gone. But they can't, it's truth. It's undeniable in itself. And so you can't ever get rid of it completely. All they can do is choke the cord, but there's always going to be water makes its way through everything, right? Energetic plasma makes its way through everything. So as no matter how much they attempt to, dim the drip and to make chaotic static around it so that we don't notice or can't sense it or agree that it's not as important and not to pay attention to it, whatever we do to that, if we could just acknowledge and say to that takes so much strength in itself to be doing this. Don't you see how strong you are? Don't you see your creator consciousness already? Why do you need to control any others? Why do you need to put off a false premise and prove something that's unprovable, that's intangible, that's it in fact shows your weakness. It shows you wear your heart on your sleeve, and in fact you're greatly vulnerable with that there. And you make a fool of yourself with this over amplified theatrics, the drama of it all, holding such a strong chokehold, but it takes it takes another version of strength to let go and to remember that, to hearken into that. And I think more and more there's more letting goes and different layers in between ourselves and the collective, that the real types of strength are coming through. And I think another reason that this is a great card to leave horizontally and for it to have spoken that way and to be the umbrella theme and to know that both are happenings are happening and are greatly available. It's, how we choose to wield that, strength and impressions is the matter at hand, It sets the tone for your service. It sets the tone for your life. It creates the movement of polarity and directionality that will accumulate around you. What a wonderful reading. What a wonderful reminder for all of us. At this cusp, at this threshold, changes and shift times, such magical energies, such exciting, youthful, creative imagination type of adventurous energies. I think, it's great to cultivate, great to let permeate. So excited to see how they are going to work through and come out in the weeks to come. I'd love to hear from anybody, everybody, about your feelings on the reading. If you have similar feelings to mine, or if you have completely different feelings than mine, I'd really love to hear that as well. Like I've been mentioning recently in a lot of my videos, podcasts, memes and shares on Telegram and stuff, it'd be wonderful to hear organic, regular, real comments and down in the comment sections or over on Telegram, just to, even if it's your own opinions, even if it's something unique that you got from it, from the video, or that you would have to add to it, seeing others alive while there's such a strong impression by the matrix overlay to tell us that the internet is a dead space, that it's echo chambers everywhere, that bots are everywhere, that it's all paid for, clickbait, farm town, USA, my face, sponsored by the mainstream, Zuckerberg kind of groupthink, predictive programming, space out there. While that is true, I think we could break it and beat it from within. I think there's no, they can't do any greater harm to the potential of goodness that could be had within the internet or within technological spaces. I'm very techno-skeptical, and I don't ever want us to be handing over conscious receptivity, discernment points, or any sort of work in that way to AI, to computer technology. We shouldn't be dumbing down any of our thinking or subjugating and handing out the right to our personal discernment. That's the skill we're here to actually cultivate. That's where our power is sourced from and comes from as humanity, in my opinion, but it's not just, it's many, many opinions. We should, never be involving or choosing to try to degrade the magicness of our consciousness into something like that. I find it a mockery and a blasphemy of organic creation, With that being said, please, I get a ton of bots. There's so much spam out there. I think we can beat it. I think there are alive people out there. I'm going to continue to make videos. I'm going to continue to be real and to put forth real content, to make real comments out there, to watch others' videos, hoping to find others making real videos and make real comments, hoping for replies. I do check replies and try to comment back to others. I try to cultivate a space of community in comments and on my Telegram. I try to find other communities that are doing that as well, and acknowledge to others that I'm alive. And say, hey, I want to hear your real opinion. I want to hear really from you. What do you like or don't like? I don't want to be like YouTube, where they don't show likes and dislikes and how many's anymore, or you can filter and block out the things that aren't good, or just get people just yes men around you all the time and just get it for 1,000 likes or whatever. I don't even care about that. I'd rather have one honest, true like with a person who has a reply and a realness to them, for impact and influence to happen through these channels as to what they're supposed to be, bringing closeness of connectivity where proximity is not allowed, not creating false proximity and a false dynamics so yeah, I do think we can, make it work, and I think there's others out there who are trying to do the same thing. I've heard some others talking about it recently as well, which is why I've really chose to sort of make it a note at the end of all my, well, not all of them, but most of them here, to just remind myself, remind others, and to also thank everyone for your audience, for your contribution to our collectives, and thanks for witnessing mine as always. And yeah, I'll see you next time.